Welcome guys to this video. This is Cypher, and in this video I'm gonna be talking a bit about the Wood Elf Next DLC. Um, I know I do not have access to it, but I have watched a lot of videos for Legend of the War, Milk and Cookies, Talon Spartacus, Turin, Janet on occasion, so many other. I'm really sorry if I forgot any, but I have really clear and clean vision of how it works. And as the legend says, I really have concerns about the end game for how they will work. Now, I do understand that the developers are really going more lore-wise in developing the Wood Elves, knowing that they are more of an isolation faction. They do not really care much about expanding all around the world, and that they want players to be really concerned about, let's say, just upgrading or cleansing the forest. Um, this might not be the best for all players, however, and I already see that there's a lot of players are bashing about that. Now, I do see that I'm really into the lore in general, and I like how they are making it, how you have the world routes now. They added a lot of forestry. I believe you have now 8 instead of just 4 or 3 maybe. Yeah, this one and Athelloran plus the Orion's Camp. Oh no, we have 4 because we also have the Gain Veil, but it's not considered as a force now. Anyways, um, now as you can see for the current game, I do not have the update, but I'm really making a lot of cash because I have control over all the trees, and as you can see, the trees are making roughly 4,000. Well, 4,000 each. They are making a bit more. Um, they have made some changes for the core buildings. For instance, this building in the next update will be generating cash, this building will be generating cash, and this building will be generating the same amount. As for the tree now, it's only generating 120, but in the update will be generating about 500. So we also do not have this. So tax-wise, we have less income than the current update. And in Athelloran, the trees, like each tree, will be making roughly the same amount, even with the new building. So because here we have this building that is increasing the income of Grapevine by 40%, so we have 40% from this, 40% from that. This case, this building will be making about 1,800 instead of 1,000. Same here, there's a building that's affecting it. So in general, in Athelloran, the buildings are roughly making somewhat the same tax, the same in general, and maybe in this update, like before the update, sorry, we are making a bit better. As for here, in the update, I believe you will be making better because uh, you will be having the other 2 buildings. So this building and this building will be generating income, and this building will be generating more income. The other thing that they added in the update is that whenever you capture a racial capital like Altdorf or Skavenblight, and maybe I believe Garaz Akarak, so on for Blackrag, like all the racial updates, as far as I understood from the streamers, you'll be getting an additional 10% for your total income, like in all of your buildings, faction wide. Now, this is good, but still you will not be making as much as now because of many things. Like you can build this building now, which is 2%, so just having 5 of it, you will be having the 10% that you are getting from the racial capital. Moreover, currently we have plus 400% from ports. So, for instance, look at this. I'm making 1,000 from Carcassonne, and in the upcoming update, I believe we will not be able to make more than 200 or 300 max. So there is a huge deficit in the income for the elves that we are coming up to. I'm gonna be just giving you maybe some suggestions that will help the wood elf to maintain at least the current level of income. As you can see, I'm making roughly 75,000, and my army upkeep is roughly 50,000. I only have 6 armies, so for after the update, I believe I will not be able to maintain this amount of legendary lords or armies. So I will be really struggling a lot to maintain uh, the command over the provinces that I'll be controlling, knowing that there will be a lot of magical forests spread all over the globe. So what I suggest is they will be adding heathlands all around the magical forest that you control. So what can be done is, firstly, maybe we can have those heathlands to be upgraded to tier 3 instead of just leaving them at tier 1. And because they are heathland, they are really affected by the magical forest, and the magical forest is affected by them. So why not adding 50 gold income per level? So once it reaches level 3, this building will be giving me 150 gold, for example. And for each level, we will be having an additional building slot. So I can have 3 building slot instead of having just one. This will help us to have better control over it, so we can have more armies in the garrison to protect it. And if it is possible as well, just in those buildings, in the Heathland buildings, if we can just keep this plus 1% missile strength and plus 2 income from buildings faction wide, just in the Heathlands. So if we take into consideration the 8 um, um, the 8 magical forests that we have, we will be, let's say, if every single forest will have 5 heathlands around it, we will be having 10% increase in the income for every magical forest, and roughly 5% of the missile strength and the weapon strength for 4 units. So we will not be able to cheese it as much as now. For instance, now I have a lot of buildings that increases the damage. So as you can see, I have 61 damage for the Way Watchers, but at least we'll be able to have 40 something if we control all the heathlands around the magical forest. So this will really help for the late game, and it will really help us to upgrade the units for the late game as well. As Legend says, in the early and mid game, we will not be having any issues with the Wood Elves, but for the late game, for instance, now it's 143 and the late game is roughly starting, we will be facing um, um, economical issues, and even the army itself will not be as efficient as now. I didn't test anything yet. I will eventually be doing it once the game releases, but I believe those additional upgrades and the access to these buildings, just um, uh, these extras like the 2% and the plus 1% just in the Heathland will help a bunch. The other thing is we need to maintain the Elven, um, what is it called? The Elven colonies. So yeah, as you can see here in the current patch, or in the current status of the game, we are able to upgrade the Elven colonies to tier 3 and have an additional building slot per level. So if we can also keep that in the after the update, while I'm not sure if we can also have this bonus for the elven colonies, but would be really great. Sorry. Um, Moreover, I'm gonna be talking about the elven racial capital. For instance, now we can fully build Lothern, but I would suggest, so we do not really abuse it and have everything upgraded. I have also access to the ancient city of Quintex. So maybe just because this is an elven racial capital, to keep it or to be able to upgrade it to tier 5, I'm not saying have access to all the building, just upgrade it to tier 5 and have an additional building per level. So Lothern will be having 5 buildings, and we will be able to have the gates of Lothern upgraded to tier 5. So this will also give us a bit of extra income. And same goes for the ancient city of Kintex and Nagaron. So those are the most important capitals for the Wood Elves, for the Elves in general. So we can have this to be upgraded to Tier 5 plus one building slot per level, and same goes for Nagaron. Now, I believe these these changes will give a lot of benefits to the Wood Elves in general, and they will really boost their economy for the late game. And will really make the game much more enjoyable for the end game. So instead of players being uh, wrecked in the end games, we will be able to build more armies. So now I have 6. I'll be able to maintain the same number of troops, maybe slightly more because I'll be controlling all over the magical forest. Okay, so one more thing I want to be talking about, and I believe it is also removed in the upcoming patch, which is this one, the Talon of Kurnos boost for the entire army. Now, I believe they removed it. It's gonna really, really hinder the strength of the Wood Elf in the campaign. Now, as you can see, I have a range of 288. Having all 4 heroes, including the Lord, have this trait. Now, I believe they are doing this because they do not want people to really abuse it. I've seen people having an entire army made of Way Watchers. Uh, Not Way Watchers, this guy, the Way Stalkers, having this trait, and they are roughly reaching maybe 700 or something in range. I can't remember well, but they are reaching excessively high ranges, and maybe they are doing that because now we can have much more heroes, and they do not want people to build many armies of extremely long range. Now, how they can fix this point is simple as well. They can keep the trait to boost the range of the army. However, they can limit it to 1 per hero. So, for instance, I can have a lord with the Talon of Kurnos. It will boost the range of the troops. I can add a Way Watcher, is it Way Stalker? It will boost the economy. However, if I added 2 Way Stalkers, it will not stack. It will stack only once. So if I have 10 Way Stalkers, I can have only once this boost. However, if I have a Way Stalker and a one of those guys, or the new hero, the I forgot her name, but if I have 2 different kind of heroes, I can stack it again. So this means I can have 5 up to 5 stacks of it. So let's say I have it now at plus 10. So I can have plus 50% in total. So 10, 10, 10, 10, and the next hero plus 50 max. However, if I have 5 of the same hero, it will not stack to only give me one um, increase. This will really help to keep the range of the Wood Elf range troops high, much higher than the rest, because, well, they are Wood Elves. They need to have a better range. They do not have siege. They need to have the best range troops because it's their traits. Even in lore, they have the best units for range. However, we do not want it to be abused and have 500 range or 600 range on them. So that thing will uh, prevent the cheese, but will keep the boost. So we can have up to 51 boost per hero type, but not infinite amount of boost. I think this will really help to maintain their superiority in range, but just avoid it of being abused. Now, I really hope that this video is clear and what I am trying to have. So tier 3 plus gold mine, something like that. I really hope that I made it clear. Um, if you have if you like what I say, give it a thumbs up, and let's try to make it reach the developers so maybe they can make something before the game releases. Now again, I have never tried the Wood Elf update, so maybe I am completely wrong, and they would be able to maintain really strong economy even with what currently uh, they have. But just in case, like, let's say what Legend says is true and we will be struggling in the end game, these few changes that I'm suggesting, I really think that they will make a lot of difference, especially if we keep the I'm not gonna say 400. If we keep the 400 income from ports, it's even better, but let's make it just 200 so we can at least make a bit of cash. But yeah, again, I really hope this video was clear and helpful. Let's just I'm gonna try to put it on the forums for the Total War. Maybe the developers will go through it and they will maybe just make some changes before the game releases. This is me, Cypher. Thank you guys very much for watching, and let's just spread the word and make it reach the devs.